I don't really know what to tell you guys right now. The amount of messages and comments I see that are negative on Ashton Jeanty coming out of his, 3 carries for -1 yard. The panic is ensuing. But I will say this. We can't get too excited because these people already hated Genty. They're just loud now. You got to remember that. The Harvey doubters already hated Harvey. They just got quiet. The Genty doubters have been quiet, dormant, and now they're coming out of the woodwork. The truth is, when you're on the clock, Terry is an example of one of these people who's in the chat here. Terry, let me see. Terry says Genty is a dumpster. Genty is a dumpster. You know what, Terry? Let's prove something right now. This phone line is for Terry only.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
I'm going to wait here for Terry, and Terry's not going to call. I'm going to wait here for Terry, and Terry's not going to call. Terry, let's hear your case as to why Genty's a dumpster. I think we'll probably sit here, and you're gonna say something like, I can't, Smitty. Terry, you know, people that don't like Genty or are trying to paint a picture now that they've been painting, and they've been quietly painting it because they've looked pretty ridiculous. Those people are the kind of people that bring salads to lunch. Those are the kind of people that bring salad to lunch while everybody else is going and getting wings and pizza. Okay? That's what we're talking about here. They were quiet. They were calculating. They've got their water bottle. You're sitting there with your 44-ounce soda. Now, I give up soda. I've been trying to get in shape and lose the LBs, but you know what I'm saying. Terry, I'm waiting. TikTok, Terry. TikTok. Where's Terry? I don't see Terry anywhere. Terry R., I don't hear from you. I don't see you. Next thing you're gonna say that you're joking. I'm just trolling. So we're waiting. Terry, I drafted Genty over HN Henry and CMC. Nope. You can't get out of this one, Terry. You can't get out of this one. Goodbye, Terry. We'll put Terry in let's do it a 10-minute timeout. Terry, you got one more chance. Come in here and talk bad about Genty like that. I don't think so. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a buy opportunity here. Buy on the dip, potentially. But again, all it takes is one person, 2 people, 3 people that draft around you to just say, I'm not buying into this weird, very ridiculous and strange negativity. This is going to be pretty cakewalk, bare bones show prior to the draft that we're going to do here in a minute. It's basically just opening up these panic chamber doors and closing the doors. And that is it.
You are in the panic chamber.
Let's draft.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Yeah. You still like Genty over Barkley, though? Jonathan, what would make you think I'm changing my mind? What on earth would make you think that anything changed tonight, Jonathan? Do you still like Genty over Barkley, though? I don't even understand this question. Jeez, man. Oh, this is unfortunately where the ball knowers and non-ball knowers part ways. I don't really know how to help anybody at this point that doesn't even understand what's going on. I mean, Jonathan, go watch a Fantasy Football 101 channel, because I don't have time to stop and explain ball to you every time you drop some ridiculous comment like, "Oh, did this end up happening? Do you still like Genty? Did Genty drop in your rankings, Smitty?" Did his 3 preseason snaps where he didn't do a single thing wrong? They were like all, if I remember correctly, all 3 were draw plays. Smitty, is it possible that you still like Genty a little bit? I'm just not sure. How far did he drop in your rankings, Smitty? Did he drop far? You know who else looked great tonight, aside from a handful of other people like Horton? Horton looked great. Milroe looked fantastic. Milroe was balling out tonight. Just looked like a monster. We'll get into the Genty stuff in a minute. There's more to go over. Like, can you pull one over on your league mate and get Genty on the cheap? Probably not, because anybody that drafted him is not going to fall victim to this kind of nonsense. So don't even think you're going to get some sort of discount in Dynasty. I think you could try. I'd love to hear your ideas. Some people are saying, can I trade Hampton for Genty now? No one's doing that. No one's doing any ball knower or anybody that owns Genty. They drafted him because they're smart. They're not getting rid of him. It's not happening. Let me show you. Let me give you the research behind why Genty is such a good pick. This is probably the best way to explain it, I suppose, if I was to break it down in, I don't know, I want to say like layman's terms, but also use a little bit of data and science behind it, because sometimes that's required.
Hey, are you currently sitting at home and wondering, why am I such a loser? Why do I not know how to get chicks? Well, there is a solution. Draft Ashton Jeanty in your upcoming fantasy football drafts, and you'll immediately start growing hair on your chest. Those little testicles of yours will finally drop, and even though you still live in your mom's basement, you're going to immediately start getting hot chicks, all because you drafted Ashton Jeanty. Now, do you want to be this guy? Hi, I'm worried William, and my mommy just warmed me up a hot pocket, and I've never even talked to a hot chick. Or this guy. Hey, I'm Dom, and I drive fast cars, get hot chicks, and draft Ashton Jeanty double fist style with 2 cell phones at the same time. Why do I have 2 cell phones? One for looking up Ashton Jeanty stats all day, the other is for getting chicks. All right, put down the Hot Pocket Petrified Pita and start smashing Genty ADP, and watch less Thundercats reruns and more of the Fantasy Football Show with Smitty, you bozo.
So, is this you, Terry? Did you actually call in?
Yeah, man, I stepped outside. I'm at work, but I stepped outside.
Okay, are you going to backtrack?
No, the only reason I say no is that Seattle had their backups in, and they couldn't block the Seattle backup. Oh,
okay. That makes sense. So Seattle, because of 3 carries, we're basically going to run from Genty. He's a dumpster, you said, as you said. I get it. 3 carries against, makes sense, bro. Makes total sense. The backups, guy. Yeah. 3 carries. I get it. Should I just pull all my Genty content down now because of the 3 carries in the preseason game? You say dumpster. How embarrassed do you think you'll be when he's a phenom and you've put out there he's a dumpster, and then you try and walk it back and say things like,
I put it in the chat that I also drafted him too, so I do have some shares of him.
But that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant because you're calling him a dumpster.
Because it's not really him, it's the situation he's in. I'm looking at the quarterback play. I'm looking at the wide receivers. I'm looking at the whole total team. It's going to be horrible.
So we're judging the backup situation, and we're just going to take the 3 carries in that situation and just throw it out. We're just going to be like, this team, we know what we need to know. In number one, bro, you can't judge backups against backups and start trying to determine
it was
how a
back up
team's
against
going to play.
starters.
Look.
The Raiders had their starters on the field, and
But
that's what
what I'm saying is, when you get deeper into the game, Genty played he had 3 carries. He had 3 carries. And when he had, I believe, his 3rd carry, his starting quarterback wasn't even in the game anymore. You can't judge. You can't judge a team.
We don't know who the starting quarterback is going to be. That's why they both
in
out there
in
with
LV. In LV, bro, come on. You don't know football at all. You don't know football at all.
You're not going to put Genty out there with O'Connell if
you
he
don't
have a shot of being a starting quarterback. He has a shot at being a starting quarterback. Now, when you looked at Hampton, you saw those 3 carries he had. You saw something,
bro.
You
Are you really suggesting you don't know who the starting quarterback is for the Las Vegas Raiders?
We don't know that right now.
Are you really, bro? You don't. Is this your first year playing?
No. I played football my entire life. Now,
I don't. I'm not saying you don't. No, I'm saying you don't play football. I'm saying, is this your first year playing fantasy football?
No, I didn't.
Because bro, if you don't know that the team has a starting quarterback, and that his name is Geno Smith, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't even know where to begin here. Like, this
real quick,
is like talking to a brick wall.
Hear me out.
How am I? Well, hold on. How am I going to even have this conversation with you when you literally don't even believe that Geno Smith's the starting quarterback?
Okay, so if Hampton was out there, right, for those carries with the starting offensive line, and as soon as they got pulled, he got pulled. If Genty is out there with a backup quarterback,
this guy,
that scares me. That concerns me. Why is he out there with a backup quarterback?
You're embarrassing yourself right now.
Why is he out there with a backup quarterback?
You're embarrassing yourself right now.
That guy don't stand a chance of getting a starting job.
What do you think? So you think Geno? You think they're really debating that Geno may or may not be their starting quarterback? Do you really believe that?
We don't know that for sure. I don't know.
Yeah, we do. No, we do. No, we do. We really do. We do, Terry. We do know. There's no debate here. There's no debate here. He's brought in and paid. He's Pete Carroll's favorite player ever. And what are you talking about, bro?
So was Flynn until Russell Wilson came.
You don't really know ball. You don't really know ball. You don't really know ball, bro. Come on, man. You're pretending. You're pretending to understand this stuff. Bro, you heard this somewhere and you're repeating it. You're pretending you understand this. You can't come in here and say we don't know who the starting quarterback is for the Raiders and literally think that this chat's going to take you seriously. Just take a glance at the chat.
I said that is because if O'Connell is the second quarterback, why was he out there with the starters? That's all I'm saying.
Because you don't pull everybody at the same. Bro, you don't know ball, or you would know this. You can't draw conclusions from. Oh, Geno gets pulled. They want to give Genty one more rep for confidence because he did get swarmed. And they give him another carry. Like, what are you talking about, bro?
And he got swarmed yet again.
Okay. Oh, so now you're sidestepping. Now you're sidestepping to that because you make no sense right now. You make no sense. Oh, I did. I proved your point. I just proved his point. I put the ball in his hands. Damn it!
He got swarmed by plumbers.
Oh. Okay.
They couldn't block plumbers.
Oh, yeah. 3 carries. You're judging the totality of the upcoming season on 3 carries.
They couldn't block the Mario brothers tonight.
Mm-hmm.
That was Luigi and Mario him in the backfield.
Bro, my advice is to go learn a little fantasy football first.
Get off of him.
Then come back.
We saw Chase Brown tonight. That's what you want to see. That's what you want to see.
Bro.
You don't want to.
Don't tell me about Chase Brown. Don't tell me about Chase Brown. I told you about Chase Brown.
I mean, I'm not telling you. I'm just saying.
Okay, but I'm just saying. You first of all, stop talking. Get Chase Brown's name out of your mouth.
But we picking Genty over Chase Brown, though.
Terry, listen to me. Listen to me. You got to step back and go. Read up on this a little bit, because the fact that you don't know Geno Smith's the starter. And you're saying we don't know. You need to learn a little bit more about what's going on. Because I let you on this platform thinking you were going to have something, and I didn't know you didn't even know anything about the Raiders or know anything about anything going on in the NFL. Because if you think that Geno Smith's not the starter, I don't even know where to begin with you. I don't even know where to begin. What do I do? What do I do? How do I talk to a wall?
But Smitty, I saw the starting offensive line get dominated by backups. That's all I know. Unless
crazy.
this is the new
Crazy.
Legion of Boom that
That's
Seattle
crazy,
got, and they just deep like that on the backups. If your starters out there, they should dominate the backups. He should have explosive runs.
Yeah, three. You know,
lanes.
Yeah.
With 3 carries, he should have had at least 15 yards, not -1.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
Like, come
Thanks.
on, man. It's the backup.
Oh.
It's not even. He wasn't even on the field.
Bro,
He was on the
bro, no
sideline.
one's listening to what you're saying right now. Everyone's already you've already discredited your whole,
Bro,
reliability.
I don't care about
Bro,
Geno.
no one thinks you know ball.
Part of that was tongue in cheek.
No one thinks you know ball. Yeah, you're gonna back off it now. I know that. I know.
No, I'm just saying.
I know you were.
Part of it was tongue in cheek, but I know what I saw. I saw offensive line that was not.
You just came on here and told the whole world you don't know ball when you said we don't even know who the quarterback is. We don't even know who the quarterback is, bro. Do you know how much they like Geno Smith? And not to mention, even though Geno Smith is not an elite fantasy football quarterback, he's a top 12. He's a top 12 to 14 QB. It doesn't matter. I'm focusing on the mere fact that you don't think that Geno Smith's the starter. You're like, we don't know who the starter is because they took him out right before they took Genty out. So that means that we can draw conclusions from that. Come on, man. This is ridiculous.
So how many?
Is that tongue in cheek too?
I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go after this.
Yeah.
Because we went at it before when you said B. Jones was better than CMC 2 years ago, and I was right about that. But anyway, real quick, what is your projections for Genty? How many yards, touchdowns, and all that?
What is my projection for Genty?
Yes.
We've done this 1,000 times. Let's say it's 300 carries times a measly 4.5 yards per carry. That is 1,350. He scores a minimum of 13 to 14 rushing TDs. He catches a bare minimum of 45 receptions for probably 300, and he pulls in another 2 to 3 TDs. He has a bare minimum of 15 total touchdowns, a ceiling of 17 or 18, and he has at least 1,700 total, 1,650 to 1,700 total yards, capable of leading the entire league in rushing.
Did you say 13 of 14 rushing touchdowns?
13 to 14 rushing touchdowns as his range, probably. Maybe 15. Sorry, you're right. I'll go ahead and bump that up. 13 to 15. There you go.
13 to 15.
Yeah.
All right. So, are you playing on Madden? Are you playing on what?
I'm playing on reality and knowing ball, being a ball knower, which I know you don't know ball because you just said you don't think Geno's the starter. That means you don't have relevant news. That means you don't have relevant news. You don't even know who's the starting quarterback, bro. How do you call into a show and try and dunk on somebody about 3 carries, draw conclusions on 3 carries, and then you say we don't even know who the starting quarterback is in LV? That you set yourself up for failure calling in with that garbage.
Tucker and Myers are the 3 wide receivers, and their best wide receivers.
He just sidesteps over there. Let me step over here.
That offense is mid.
Oh.
No, it's below mid.
Yeah.
They're going to suck. They're going to be the worst team. Now, when Manning goes there next year, okay.
You see, you don't know ball. Manning's not coming out next year. You don't know ball, bro. You don't know ball. Stop talking. You don't know ball. Manning's not coming out next year.
Money talk.
Manning's not coming out next year. What are you talking about? No, he won't. No, he won't. The Mannings don't come out early, bro. You don't know what you're talking. You're just proving it, bro. Enough. No one even wants to hear this anymore. You don't know what you're saying. You don't know what you're saying.
Finish him.
I mean, when you say things just to say it, you say things like, well, we don't know who the quarterback is of the Raiders. Look, why did they go get Gene? What's going on here? I mean, unbelievable. Unbelievable. That someone actually thinks they have a leg to stand on, and one of the first things out of their mouth derails the entire momentum of what he may or may not been able to bring to the table argument-wise, and says, we don't know who the starting quarterback is of the Raiders. you're out of touch with what's going on. How is anybody going to take your stance seriously when you don't even know that? And you don't know that Arch is not coming out. They've made that the Mannings have made that abundantly clear, and they're not the kind of personality. They come from a regime of you stay, you learn, you produce, you get better. You don't come out early and fail. Unbelievable. What did he say? He thinks they're benching Geno for Tom Brady. I didn't even hear that because I was just flabbergasted and blown away by the fact that he literally is judging Genty off 3 carries, judging that they don't know who their starter is because they took Geno out 1 series before Genty to give Genty just a little bit more run. Wow. That was impressive. That was impressive. Harry, I'm sorry, man. I don't even know. Like, maybe should I give him a lifetime membership to the fantasyfootballshow.com just to get him a little bit more versed? All right, dial into the show. Phone lines are open. Unreal.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
And Terry, because you're trolling, I'm not even going to, this is nonsense this is the last thing that you're going to get a spotlight for because you're clearly you enjoy, I don't know, whatever it is you're doing. Genty equals CEH. You're just making it worse for yourself. You really are. He's not trolling, though. This is what he really believes. He took time off work to call in and embarrass himself. So, all right, let's, jeez, man. I don't know what to tell you. I don't need that flabbergasted me. That on many levels, the unprepared stance that he took. What is there on Underdog that we can do that's new? Let's go take a look. Husky 2. No, we'll pass on that one. Let's go with isn't there like a puppy 2 or something like that out? There's got to be something. Penalty box, no. The Husky 2 Best Ball Mania. The Big Dog, the Eliminator. Let's go into an Eliminator, a $10 Eliminator. So everybody click on that. Don't click the green button yet, but just click and have it there. If anybody wants to draft with us, Geno, you're just wondering if we don't know who the starter is yet. We're still scrambling. According to the reports, they're scrambling to find out who could start for this team in 2025. They're still scrambling. Oh, bro. And then he's going to backtrack. Are you backtracking? Is he backtracking yet? I like Genty. I drafted him even though I'm calling him CEH. I mean, the king of not knowing what left or right. Left, right, left. Kevin, you're live. Kevin, please bring some normalcy. I don't know if I could take another completely unaware Unger right now at this late hour. Go ahead, Kevin. You're live. Jeez. Hello?
Oh, shoot. You said me?
Well, I mean, unless you're not Kevin and that's your mom or dad. That seems to be...
That's probably my dad's name or something.
Why doesn't anybody have their own phone anymore? Why is everybody living in their parents' basement off their mom's phone and dad's phone line? What is your name, Kevin? And I will change it in my system for you.
Well, so my name's Brian, but also you have to cut me some slack, so I'm still in college here, so. Okay.
All right. That Brian, you said? Brian?
Yeah.
All right, Brian. I'm sorry. What are you studying, by the way? My advice for you is do not get some sort of general business degree or I'm going to lose it. Because you're not going to be able to use it.
It's not that. I'm aerospace engineering.
That's it. That's what you do, bro. You know why you do that? Because nobody can get that job unless they get your mother freaking degree. If you go to school, if anybody's watching right now, and you go get a degree, and I'm one in, well, actually, I wouldn't have been if I would have got a master's. I got a master's in something different. But if I would have got a master's in psychology, then I would have been exactly like that, where no one can get my job unless they get that degree. But the general bachelor's psychology degree, or if you're just going to go get your bachelor's, or we're talking about something like a potential so business or general marketing or whatever, you're literally going to be wasting your money. And anybody and everybody accidentally call back in, Travis, and that college kid. I messed up when I was adding the phone lines. Hold on one second. Just mute yourself real quickly. Travis and the guy that was on the phone line, Brian, call back in. I just accidentally deleted you. We're jumping into an eliminator in 10 seconds. Underdog promo code Smitty. If anybody wants to jump in this draft, please hit the promo code that I have in the live chat pinned. I'm dropping it fresh again right now. There it is in the chat. Boom. Let me get Brian. Brian? Was it Brian? Brian, I'm sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. But good job. Good on you getting a degree that's specialized. You get something like business or something, you can't do anything with it. Anybody can do your job. Yeah. You go get a job doing some marketing or you're doing some business. Anybody can get your job. But no one can get a teaching degree, even though people say they get paid little. You can get a teaching degree. No one can be a teacher. You get an aerospace degree. No one can be in that. Engineering, no one can do that. Good job. Yeah. All right. What can I do for you?
I completely agree with you.
Yeah. What can I do for you?
Well, so I actually had one opinion kind of about that conversation that you were just talking about, Genty. I mean, personally, I feel like Genty will be a top 10 back in this league. I'm not sure if it'll burst onto the scene in the first 5 weeks of the season, considering just how that Raiders team is. But I feel like if you want to draft Genty, probably go for him earlier in dynasty rounds and then just hold on to him and just have patience.
Yeah, but the thing that I want to caution all of you that are hearing this from other people, like Terry, who called back and is on hold right now. I guess he wasn't done. A lot of people are repeating Rodgers and repeating that this team is the team from last year. It doesn't matter what they did today in 3 plays. I know everybody wants to draw conclusions. That's why we went live on this topic. Let's hit the green button in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Enter the draft. Do it live. The thing you got to be really careful about is that this is an entirely new team. And maybe it didn't jive right in 3 plays. There's nothing, like, honestly, you know, the play calling, you could say, wasn't the greatest in that situation for Genty to get those 3 carries. And I think they were all 3 draw plays. So this is like, it's easy to judge it. It's easy to say, oh, their offensive line was bad last year. They didn't have Geno. They didn't have the 2, young rookie wide receivers that are very promising. Bowers wasn't playing with the more competent quarterback like he is this year. They're revamping the line. They're revamping the defense. They've drafted some good players. And so you got to be careful not to be like, oh, they were bad last year. Oh, the line was bad last year. You start judging the Raiders for last year, and that's where you're going to make a grave mistake. And you judge any team, I don't care what team it was, on 3 plays, you're making a grave mistake. You can't judge the Raiders sum total, the totality of the Raiders, on 3 plays. You just can't. Not to mention, Geno didn't even play long enough to assess anything. You know, there are plenty of times where people have a struggle bus beginning, and then they have an amazing second half of a quarter, let alone the second half of the game. Or you look at Milroe. Milroe didn't do very much at first, and then Milroe started cooking as he got more drives. So it's like you come in and you judge Geno Smith on a series. You judge Genty on 3 carries. And if you were to take Milroe out before Milroe started cooking, you'd think Milroe sucks. But that's the nature of overreacting Oscars and how this stuff becomes advantageous for people that know ball, for people that know process and things like this. What else did you have, bro? But I venture to say a lot of people are going to share your opinion tonight, which is why we went live on the topic. And it's a complete advantage for those that believe in Genty. You don't want to believe in Genty this year. You want to believe in him long term, but not this year. That's on you, bro. He's going at 12, 13. He'll probably drop to 13, 14, I imagine, in some draft settings. We'll see where he goes tonight. Let me pull up the draft right now. And let me put this caller on hold. Caller, hold real quickly for me, if you don't mind. Let me see.
Sure.
Of course, Genty didn't fall to me in this draft because this is our people. These are our people, and they're certainly not going to sleep on Genty. Where'd Genty go in this draft? Right before Ray G took him. If Ray G wasn't here, I would have grabbed him right there at 11. Am I showing the board? I'm not. Sorry about that. Here's the board. There's the board right there. Hopefully did I answer all these questions last night? Trey Bowers for Loveland in the first. Where are you stand on Caleb? But I know you have any other. Oh yeah, I did answer all these. Okay. All right, go ahead, my guy. My call. What's your name? Damn it.
Oh, my name's Brian.
Brian. Anything else, Brian?
Yeah. Well, so I'm just gonna add one more thing. I also think that I think of this situation more so not necessarily like fantasy based. I feel like I kind of see it more in the eyes of like the impact that like Saquon had on the Eagles this past season, rather than the impact that Saquon had on the Giants winning football games like early on. Like I feel like sometimes having that top 10 running back that like you draft early, or like someone that like you go out and you pay a lot of money, sometimes I feel like they're most impactful and they do best when they're on an actual good team that is competing in the playoffs, rather than just
but again,
not
that's
so great team.
Right, and again, that's you judging the Raiders and thinking they're not going to be a competitive team, and that's fine. If that's your stance, that's fine. But the Raiders are going to surprise some people. They've got a quarterback, and he is very competent and very accurate, and despite not being, a world star as we call some of these other guys, he is a very competent quarterback. So this team is going to be a lot better than people think. They are trying to get to know each other. Like, it wouldn't shock me if your stance was in the first 4 weeks, Genty struggles, then becomes a monster. I can understand and see that potentially happening as they're trying to all jive together. But I mean, bro, this team's still going to be exciting. They're still going to move the football down the field. They'll be able to get into the red zone. Genty's going to be used, properly on the full, on a full game. This is a guy that gets better as the game goes on. He had 29 rushing touchdowns in college last year, 26 rushing yards. Is the best prospect to come out of college at the running back position since Barry Sanders, and some could easily argue a better prospect than Barry Sanders coming out of college. And guys like Terry on hold, running their mouth, calling him a dumpster, calling him CEH. The guy scored 29 rushing touchdowns last year. And I know what he might say is, but it was against bad competition, have excuses for this and excuses for that, when he was literally atop the nation in all these categories you see. First in FBS in percentage of yards for his team. Never had a game under 100 yards rushing. Second in the nation in yards per carry, behind only Trevion Henderson. First in the nation in yards after contact. All of this stuff that transfers over to the pro level so nicely. And even players that have played on bad teams before, running backs have succeeded greatly in those environments. It's not like he can't, as RB, succeed if this was a little bit more of a dumpster fire than I'm suggesting it will be. No one's saying this is the best team in the division. They probably won't make the playoffs. They'll fight for a wild card spot, but you're going to have 3 teams from that division alone get into the playoffs, and that's probably not likely. Denver's going to either win the division and then the Chiefs get the wild card, or vice versa, and then the Chargers are grabbing potentially that other wild card spot. And so 2 wild card spots coming from the same division, that means there's only 1 left for the entire conference. So yeah, the Raiders are probably a year away from doing anything. Let me make this pick real quickly. This is tough. I'm going hero RB or 0 RB, and it's not looking good because everyone's scooping up these RBs left and right. I don't know what.
Yeah, that seems to be what's going on this year.
Well, with this group, it's hard because we go more running back heavy, and Bucky going at 12 doesn't happen outside of our community. So, but here I'm probably going to roll with. Damn, man, this is tough. I could go George Kittle here. Just keep going best player available. I'm going to be on the struggle bus from hell in the RB position later, though. I got to go early RB here. I'm going to go Chuba Hubbard. I normally don't do that, but I'm going to stick to ADP. I'm not going to reach like a madman there. Okay. Let me go over to Travis real quickly. Then we'll give Terry the floor for a minute. He's probably at work and needs to get back to work. So, Travis, go ahead, and you can stay on the line on hold if you want.
Yeah, okay.
Brian. All right, go ahead.
So, just touching on what the last caller was talking about, like, Chuba was RB15 and they were 5-12. Kamara was RB9, they were 5-12. Achane was RB5, and Miami was 8-9, and Tua even missed a bunch of games. Like, guys can still be good running backs.
Yeah.
You know, we obviously like to target good players and good offenses, but a team like the Raiders, you could look at them similar to, you know, even the Panthers, where they have a lot of good pieces, and they're trying to put it together and get everything going. And so you put a guy like Genty on a team like that, he's going to be fine.
Even if they are bad, which I don't believe they will be, I think people are going to be shocked at how well the Raiders actually play. Preseason games are stupid to judge the totality of the team. It's moronic. Yep. Because you're getting a glimpse of what it is in one series, and then it's backups, and then like you judge who wins and loses a game or who's doing well in the second quarter. You're totally looking at this thing from a novice lens. Nobody judges preseason games. You can't judge a team on you can't judge a team on its first drive. You can't, like, that's crazy. That's insane. I mean, you want to see them succeed? Yeah, there could be a positive, response. You see them do well, and you go, okay, yeah, all right, good. Everything I thought to be true has been proven here. Again, that confirmation bias, but confirmation bias doesn't mean it's wrong.
And Torrey Horton, you see something good, and you say, okay, we're going in the right direction.
Yeah.
But like when you think about the Raiders, like Genty is not going to face hardly any stacked boxes. If you stack a box against Geno, he's good enough, and he has enough receivers with Bowers and Myers and the rookies that he'll just pick apart his defense. So it's like he's going to have room to run. The offensive line's better than it was last year. So anyone who is doubting these rookies, they were already doubting them, and they've just been quiet. And I understand it's hard to go against the grain, or it's hard to have a take that a lot of people don't agree with or something, whether you're right or wrong. But you notice almost no one. There's one or two people here or there in the chat. Oh, I don't believe in Genty. Fine, those people don't like him. Good. All of a sudden, they're all coming out of the woodwork. And
good.
Even more than panic, they already didn't like him.
Good. I hope
that's how I feel.
Wow, RJ
Harvey. Confirmation bias for them.
RJ Harvey fell all the way to me here at the end of. Yeah, that was great. I was patient and I just let him fall, and look at all the wide receivers because everyone went so heavy RB. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous to me. Arguing Genty after, like, this guy was everyone's darling. There were some doubters, not a lot. 3 carries, and we're having this conversation. This is so weird. It's weird. It's not even like ridiculous. It's weird. I don't understand where anybody in their right mind would judge not only the team as a whole off of one series, that they could have, and sometimes teams say, let's go ahead and try this because they don't know if they're going to do this well. And so they try this or they try that. That's what they're doing out there in a preseason game. And so they tried some draw plays that didn't work. They know that's not going to be good for the next game. They'll figure out other ways that they want to approach this. But one series, again, look at Milroe. Milroe's first drive, I believe, was not very, very amazing. And then he started cooking. Like you imagine judging Milroe for his first drive. Imagine judging Kurt Warner when he walked onto the field the first time for Vermeil and the Rams, and he threw an interception. Kurt Warner walked onto the field, threw an INT, and someone like Terry would have went, oh, there it is. There it is. And what did Warner do? Walked right back onto the field, and he never looked back. And he became an MVP, Super Bowl winner, Hall of Famer, one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. Kareem Hunt, another example of going out there fumbling his first carry. And everyone's like, oh, there it is. Like, Genty didn't even do anything wrong. There were bad play calls. He got swarmed. Kudos on the defense as well. I mean, they did a good job. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. None of it matters. It's one series.
Right.
It's one series. I hope people panic. I just think the smarter people in this game of fantasy football, they're not going to react to that. These are the loud people that have been quiet for a while that didn't like Genty to begin with. There's no Genty fan, somebody that really, really liked Genty, that flipped on 3 carries. There's none. There's not one that exists. There's not a single fan on earth that said, I love Genty. I'm drafting him everywhere. 3 carries in a preseason game. He's trash. He's a dumpster. Terry, you could go. You're live. You know you hated Genty before these 3 carries. That's what it is. You have no other excuse for yourself. Zero.
No, sir. No, sir.
Yes.
I'm a huge Genty fan.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not.
I felt like he should have won the Heisman in college. I love Travis Hunter, and I respect what he did, but I think Genty, being the closest thing to Barry Sanders in college, I think he should have won the Heisman. But fast forward, I can't take what he did in college over to the NFL because of the team he's with. There was zero creativity on the offensive running scheme. It was horrible. It was atrocious. They were going against backups, so I was like, man, I said, so in my mind, I was like, well, who's all in the division? I thought about it. I said, Denver. Ooh, that's going to be a top defense. Okay, that's going to be tough. They got to play Kansas City. That's going to be tough. And I was like, man, they're going to be the weakest offensive line in their division. And any other games they play on the road and stuff is going to be tough. So I'm like, how can Genty do anything without getting hurt and being the bell cow? He's going to have that rookie slump should be factored in there. The rookie wall should be factored in as well. On a struggling team, he can lose confidence. He can get hurt.
Now you just make it up.
Risk. I don't want to have that risk.
All right, good. Don't take him. Don't take him. Tell everybody. Tell everybody. I let you talk as long as I can listen to that verbal diarrhea.
I just want to finish my point. That's all. I can have A-Chan. I can have Chase Brown. I have guys on thriving offenses. They're gonna put up points.
And those are great players too. Yeah.
I don't see how he's gonna get 15 touchdowns when he won't be in that scoring position to get those 15 touchdowns.
But that's your opinion. That's your opinion. It's coming from somebody that just told us.
You like JT?
That's somebody that just told us that you don't know who the starting quarterback is. You don't even know who the Raiders starting quarterback is.
I'm trying to be legit with you this time. I'm not trying to.
What do you mean this time? What do you mean this time? Oh, so you're gonna pick and choose when you crap the bed on the phone call. Tell us something, and now you're trying to walk back that you don't know that. So what? Geno's now the starting quarterback? Is that what you're gonna say?
For now, he's the starting quarterback. Yes.
Finish him.
I got a full phone line, and I don't have time for trolling. I don't have time for people pretending that they are going to feel one way and then they're going to come back and say something the next time just because they realize they put their foot in their mouth. On the call prior, if you're just joining us, he said, we don't truly even know who the quarterback is in LV. And now he's pretending he didn't say that. Now he's pretending he didn't say it, or he's pretending he said it to play and make fun. That's not how he did it. So you're going to continue to waste our time. I'm not listening to it. It's garbage. It's the worst take of the year. Let me go over. Go ahead, Travis. Then I'll go over to the 202.
I was just going to say real quick, and then I'll go and hold. Two quick things. One, I think he was starting to say it. I think he likes JT, and so how can you like JT if you don't like Genty because of the offense he's going to be on? One. And two, anyone who's judging Genty off of tonight should be taking George Halani as their first running back.
Yeah,
He had
he's the
8.7
first runner.
yards per carry, 7 carries, 60-something yards.
You're
So,
sure good.
You know, that's the same logic.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not even going to waste my time with it, to be honest with you. Terry doesn't even deserve the platform to shovel out that nonsense. So I'm not even going to give him the time of the day on it. He has had 2 opportunities, and now he's changing up his argument and pretending he said something playful when he screwed up and realized he didn't realize who the starter was. When he realized, he probably looked it up. Let me research this. Oh, they really did pay him to be the starter. Oh, I better call back up and I'll pretend I was joking on that point. Now we don't take anything you say seriously. If that's the case, because you just told us and you were adamant. I asked you like 10 times, do you really believe we don't know who the starter is? And you go, we don't. We don't. You were arguing. Don't act like you were playing. Absolutely not. Playful about it? Yeah, sure. Sure. All right, let me go over to the 202 caller. 202, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, Smitty, how you doing? It's Jazz calling from D.C., a.k.a. Jazzy Fresh on the YouTube. I got a wide receiver question for you.
Jazz?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, what can I do for you, bro?
I got a wide receiver question for you, but also I think you're spot on about Genty. I'm very excited for this Vegas offense. Bowers going into his year 2. The weapon Ashton Jeanty is going to be his receiving game and his rushing game. I'm very excited to see this offense and the new weapons they got over the offseason. But I got a wide receiver question for you. I've been trying to choose between these 5 receivers in the first round when I get back-to-back picks. And I've always done Nico Collins, but I wanted to see and hear your advice on this. If you get to choose between Nico Collins, Puka Nacua, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, who are you taking between those guys? And who might be your number 2 after that?
I think it's tough to say because there's different ways to answer that. I think per start, Neighbors by far. Neighbors might be the number 1 wide receiver in the league for 2 straight months. My concern is that come week 14, week 15, if they don't have enough wins, then what's going to happen? Where is this going to go? What direction is it going to take? And if this team's got 4 or 5 wins and it's, deep in or starting to get into double-digit weeks, they might say, have the surgery, pack it in, and let's get a better draft pick. I mean, it all makes sense. So I worry about that pick. In a vacuum, it's Neighbors. It's just, it is. But in terms of safety, it probably is, in my opinion, BTJ. Adams is a threat to Puka Nacua. Stafford, even though I think he'll be fine, there's still that additional concern about the back. Then there's, if Stafford's not there, Puka vanishes. You got St. Brown in a regression type of year, probably with touchdowns. And even though I think they'll throw a lot because they'll be down in the 3rd and 4th quarter, doesn't mean they're always throwing efficiently. And they're going to dump off to Gibbs, a lot of high efficiency Gibbs work. I still think Amon-Ra probably might even have more yards, but I think the touchdowns will regress a little bit. But they're still concerned. He's always banged up. He plays through injuries, but he's always kind of like banged up. And the guy's aggressive as hell to his body. So there's that risk. And then, I mean, all these players have risk levels. Nico, he's got to prove he can stay healthy, and then his team's in shambles. His offensive line. Look at the defense. Look at the injuries and everything going on. Ward got arrested again. Johnson is injured. This team's in shambles. The offensive line's in pieces. Mixon's in a walking boot constantly. Like it's a tough situation. That said, if they're losing, they'll throw a lot. So it's kind of like a catch-22. At the end of the day, BTJ plays in a magnificent offense. They're going to throw to him, and to the point of always pick a player in a high-scoring offense. We talk about that when things are equal. In the case of Genty, he is such a superior talent. You overlook that kind of thing when it comes to Genty, or when it comes to another player like you did so many years with Christian McCaffrey in Carolina, et cetera, et cetera. When we're talking about a top 1 to 2 to 3 overall player, you can push some of that aside. Not to mention with an RB, look at, like Travis said, look at Chuba Hubbard, look at Kamara. Look how much people still like Kamara this year, even though they're going to have a trash offense, complete trash offense. But BTJ as a receiver, the receiver relies on the QB a lot more, and I love what's going to be schemed up for BTJ. So the safe answer is BTJ. The higher risk, but damn, I love the upside is going to be Neighbors, but you got to be willing to maybe pull the trigger in a trade if the opportunity presents itself during the year. Anything else, my boy?
Okay. No, I appreciate it. Thank you, Smitty.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later. That's a tough one. I mean, Neighbors is such a tough player to turn from, because it's like Barkley right now. Barkley is a hard player to draft at his ADP because he has 430 carries to his name, and the likelihood of breaking down this year at some point is really high. But at the same time, he could play like the number one running back for 6 straight weeks, 8 straight weeks, and then it's going to look like the narrative is that anybody that passed on Barkley made a mistake. And you could maybe say that's true if the person that drafts Barkley ends up trading him before that decline happens. But predicting when the decline goes down, all that is a tough business to be in. So, you almost gotta pick and choose what, let's see, I'm going to go with Jaden Blue here. I'm loaded at running back now. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm done. I can't draft another running back. I was going to take ETN too, but he may have even got taken, or if he got taken early. But I don't even need that. I'm fine with Tootin, Bigsby, Charbonnet, Blue, and then RJ Harvey, Chuba Hubbard. I think I recovered pretty good at running back. Don't you think, Travis, considering the snipage and Ragey taking Irving at 13 overall and everybody grabbing Genty, HN, everybody was sniped.
You're in good shape.
I would have maybe gotten Chase Brown, but I also don't want to make people draft him any higher than he needs to go right now. So I was kind of trying to play that, calm. So I went BTJ, London, Daniels, best player available. I was going to go Hall had Hall fallen, but it got to the point where I didn't know what to do. I could have went MHJ but I went JD5, Hubbard, Harvey, and then Bo Nix, Debo, Bo Nix, Evan Ingram, and then I just started hammering the RB position and came away with Bigsby, Charbonnet, Tootin, and Blue, who's dealing with an ankle injury right now. All right, so I'll kind of probably stop drafting running backs at this point. God, what a wild live stream. Sometimes I forget how off kilter people can get off of one game, one piece of news. And it seems like, a group of people, and I consider our entire community one amazing group of people. And I forget how many quiet, silent haters there are, or people that hate on a player that are just, they're embarrassed to put the take out there, like against Genty, because they're afraid of the ridicule. But the first sign of any sort of setback of any kind, and you realize they're like a sleeper agent against Genty, anti-sleeper agent, and they just come running out, and the rest of the normal population is still doing the same thing. They're still excited. And sometimes you forget how crazy it can get off of one thing. For example, when Chase Brown started off slow, weeks 1, 2, 3, the panic was insane. The negativity was insane. People came in and said, Smitty, you're wrong on Chase Brown. Week 1, you're wrong on Chase Brown. Week 2, I can't believe I drafted Chase Brown. Week 3, and then week 4, Chase Brown's gold. Now Chase Brown's going at the top of round 2. And nobody remembers that heavy wave of up and down. And then real quickly, the more important one is Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 weeks of no Jahmyr Gibbs. People were frantic. This is probably the biggest gross overreaction in probably the fantasy football show history. How many people were literally off their rocker, upset, so mad, considering, people come in and say, I'm going to cut him on Monday. Gibbs is worthless. Gibbs is crap. Smitty, I'm unfollowing you. I'm unsubscribing. and then Gibbs gets on his horse in week 7 and tears it up. And Genty's not even close to that situation because he's the only running back on the roster. Like, Genty's going to get fed. Genty could get 4.4 yards per carry on the year, and he's getting 1,300 yards rushing bare minimum. Bare minimum. And if Genty does what he does, which is average 5 yards a carry or 4.7 or 4.8, he's going to get you 14. He could lead the league in rushing. He could lead the entire National Football League in rushing. I'll go Kyle Williams here. Brian, anything else, my boy?
Yeah, I mean, I had a couple questions about what I should do with my draft, but I mean, like, you're in the middle of a draft, so like, I don't want to be throwing all my picks at you right now. It's not a good time for that.
Go ahead and hit me with the shortest questions you can package up.
Okay, well, so here's my main concern. It's a 10-man PPR. We can keep 3 players. I'm keeping A.J. Brown and Devon Achane. There will probably only 2 or 3 other people that are picking in that third keeper round. So I'll probably be at the back half because I lost in the championship. I was thinking about taking Hampton there. I also have the opportunity to keep Tyreek Hill or Ladd McConkey, or names like T. Higgins might hit the board. And I just kind of wanted to know what your thoughts were, because I mean, I also have pick I also have pick 39, 46, and 54 because I made a couple trades to try and move around a little bit.
Yeah, since you have balance, you're taking the best player available in my mind. If this is up to me, no matter what. But since you're balanced, you don't even have to hesitate on position of need. So give me the top 6 players and I'll just rank them.
I mean,
I know what you want me to say. I know what you want me to say. You want me to construct this plan, but it's really case by case every round. That's just the best way to draft.
Yeah.
So give me the top 6 guys, and I'll tell you who I would take here at this next pick in order.
All right. Well, so like the top 6 guys, the top 6 guys that I could potentially see would be like Hampton, Ladd, T, like Hampton, Ladd, T, Tyreek, maybe Tay Adams. Trying to think who else might be around there. Like Garrett Wilson, Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall. Like those guys will all probably be there, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to reach on Trevion Henderson, probably in like the 5th or 6th a little bit. And I also kind of wanted to reach on Hampton with that, with pick 28 or whatever it was, because I still have pick.
Well, let me clear this up for you. This is an easy call. The number 1 player to draft is Hampton. There's no reach on him. He's the number 1 player to draft. He's a 2nd round dynasty keeper player. So you'll be lucky if he falls to you, to be honest. So if he's there,
I think that he will. I mean, the guy's picking ahead of me in those keeper rounds. Like one will take Genty, the other will take like McBride, and then one of them will probably take like Tyreek Hill or something like that.
Well, you're lucky to get him if you get him. Hampton there. I'm not scared to take Hunter and Hendy with the next 2 picks. I don't care. I mean, that they may fall. You can use suggested rank, but sometimes suggested rank can screw you, bro, because it's bad suggested rank. It's not good. It's not good value. Okay. It's not. So you're going to end up seeing somebody that reaches beyond ADP. But yeah, I mean, Hendy would be, I would strongly even consider him the next pick. It does depend on who's there. I love Breece Hall still. I think he's fantastic as well. I love Garrett Wilson. He's awesome. Ladd. It's really, the next pick is between Hampton, Ladd, Garrett Wilson, and Hall. And I'm not considering Tyreek. No chance in hell. I'm not considering T. Higgins. 0 chance in hell. And I draft Hendy before I draft Tyreek and T. Higgins at that pick, at this Hampton pick. I'm not saying I would. I'm just saying I would draft Hendy over them if I had to. But this is a pretty easy call to me. I think you're gonna do real well with this situation.
Yeah.
Go Hampton. Then the next round,
that's just what.
Start weighing your options with Hunter. Rashee Rice might be there because people are scared of that. That's like Rashee Rice needs to be talked about the next round. 100%. if he's available. Like, you could honestly argue him here in a keeper dynasty, but the next round, I'd smash the hell out of... Oh, damn, I timed out on Sam Darnold. Son of a bitch.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I knew something like that was going to happen.
No, you're fine, bro. Jeez. Jeez, man. God. Well, I guess I go Milrow. Bro. That sucks. Let's see what I can do here. My tight ends are both by week 12, so I put myself in a bind there in advance. Running backs, I took an extra running. I'm screwed. I got to just keep that. Oh, man. Hold on, Pat Bryant. We'll go Pat Bryant here. All right. Anyway, yeah, that's an easy call for me. Hampton, and then if Rice is there, you got to consider Rice at the next pick, bro. Have to. Hendy and Hunter.
I was kind of thinking Marv at the next pick, and then Hendy.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. I can't believe that you have guys like that in the keeper league still available. So 100%, bro. 100%.
Well, yeah, because we can only keep 3 of them, so that's why.
Yeah, but still, I mean, you give yourself that opportunity. You get Travis Hunter, you get Hendy, you get Rashee Rice. Who I like Marv and him in that next spot. Garrett Wilson, if he falls, you're in good position for the next season. Because AJB won't be your keeper next year if you're drafting like this. I guarantee you're going to throw AJB back. I
mean, I'm a Philly fan, so my heart just stays close to him. It's hard for me to give him up, but...
Use your brain. Next year, you're not keeping A.J. Brown. Not with this type of drafting that you're about to do.
Yeah.
All right, man. How many years you got left in school, bro? How many years left in school?
I'm finishing on my last year, so...
Attaboy. All right, appreciate you. Later.
All right. Later.
What do you I don't know what I'm going to do here. 17, 18, got two picks left. I really screwed myself by timing out on Darnold, damn it. The worst thing that I did here, because I'm doing multiple things at once. It's not easy to do this, by the way. But I picked... So the problem is all these things at once with the timeout screwed me. JD5 and Bo Nix both have bye week 12. So I knew I had to solve the quarterback situation. And given that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 running backs, I put myself in a little bit of a bind there. And then I drafted double tight ends with the same bye week. So I really didn't give myself any sort of help. I almost have to go wide receiver. Now I've got BTJ, Drake London, Debo. So I got 3 really good wide receivers. And I got Kyle Williams and Pat Bryant. I need to take one more wide receiver, preferably not a bye week 12 guy. And then I'm kind of good. Royals or Yoshi Voss or Horton. I could go any one of those guys. Which one do you like best? And it can't be by week 12, I said, right? So who's by week 12? None of them are. So Yoshi Voss, Royals, or Horton. Kind of feel like Yoshi's the safest. Horton's the highest upside. Well, never mind.
Royals are Horton right now.
Let's go Horton. So Horton there. So now I'm good at wide receiver. I've got Darnold as my backup for week 12. I don't think he's lasting to week 12. So I either go with a tight end, because I got 2 bye week 12 tight ends. This is the mess I made of myself getting in these arguments while I'm drafting. Or I eat the bye week and say, that's fine. Week 12, I don't have any points at tight end. The guy I grab might get 3 or 4 points anyway, and I just back up my QB position a little better.
Might do that. QB's more important.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and do that. So I don't have a tight end by week 12, but that's fine. That's fine. I can't believe some of this Genty panic. It's insane, man. Again, it's kind of like my rock concert example, though. You have to even I have to remind myself of that. It really is as simple as there are 10 people that they're hiding down in the front row on the rail, and it's like the whole concert's just like just going crazy. Everyone loves the band. The band is Genty, by the way, if you don't know this example. So Genty's up there just rocking out solo. People are going crazy. College season, it's done. Now Genty's going on stage for the final act. Everybody's cheering. They're like, this guy's going into the pros final act. Here it goes. And then he's about ready to start, and his finger slips. And then the 10 guys in the front row stand up, and they don't know ball. They clearly don't, but they're like, and we have evidence of that tonight. And they sit there and they go, "You suck! You suck! You can't even play the first string right." And then Genty goes, "Well, my hands are sweaty, and I've been rocking out like a monster this entire show, the college season." So he just wipes his hand off real quick and then just lets it rip. I mean, that's what's going to happen. It's just so weird to me that these 10 to 12 people, they can make people think that it's such a loud group, but it's really just this small little group of quiet, sleeping haters. They're sleeping.
Yeah.
And then
it's a good example.
They just
get a lot nowadays.
They just, all 10 of them have megaphones, so it sounds like there's a lot of people behind them, and they're like, "Yeah, Genty, look, the Raiders are going to be so bad. I saw 3 plays tonight. 3 plays tonight on a tie game." What about the tie game? I mean, what is Seattle going to take some heat for not beating this team? No, because it's a preseason game. But are you going to judge the Raiders offense when they didn't even do anything? They didn't have a chance to do anything? Yeah, you are, because you're waiting for something. Unbelievable, man.
Echo chamber.
I hope he falls to, like, I don't think people are too smart, bro. Most people know ball. So Genty's 1.11 ADP right now, let's call it. I mean, majority of people know ball enough that this is not going to happen, but I guess he falls to, like, let's call it 2.2 or 2.1 to 2.2. That is the best case scenario. I don't think we're getting anything. We're not getting a bigger gift than that. I don't think so. If so, I'll be ecstatic. I'll be so happy.
If you do, it's going to be in, like, your home leagues where you have people that, don't pay attention until the season starts type of thing. There's a couple of people in home leagues like that. A lot of people in grandma leagues, stuff like that. We all have some leagues like that, but yeah, I tend to agree with you. I can't see him dropping more than a couple of spots.
I'm just baffled. What
it's
does
a good point, though, because by that logic, the Lions suck. They lost 34-7.
Yeah.
So, Lions are up.
If you had to guess, because I don't read the whole chat, I can't because I'm ranting and raving. If you had to guess based on actually seeing this thing from a different lens than I am, what is the percentage of the chat that actually is hating on Genty, even if it's lightly? Like, hey, I like him, but I don't think I'd draft him in the first 2 rounds. But I like him. Like, anybody qualifies that's not on board the first round value. What's the percentage you think?
Yeah. So say, all right, there's like a little over 300 people watching right now. Say there's 200 people in and out of the chat. I would say maybe 10 to 15 of them at the most.
10 out of 200? 10 out of 200 or 10 out of 300? Okay.
10 out of 200, say. So 5%.
Wow, that's still much bigger percent.
But
that doubt.
But a lot of them are like, there's 5 or 6 people like really hitting it hard, and then the rest of them are like, yeah, I could see that happening, or yeah, I kind of feel that way too. Kind of like unsure, hesitantly agreeing with them, and kind of that vibe.
I wonder, maybe I'm wrong. and you can get them cheap from an owner somewhere that's going to maybe absorb this over the next 24 hours. I'm not saying that you're gonna, but like let it huh?
I know.
Yeah, but let's let it simmer for like a 24-hour period, because I mean, look, you're watching my show, you're going to hear the truth. You absorb all these overreacting Oscars and people start seeing it in the chat over and over, because like this 5%'s allowed, which is still a shocking number to me, honestly. But I would venture to say that the amount of people in this 10, so this 5% of the haters in the chat tonight, let's say, I'd venture to say that those 5%, they don't watch the channel religiously, or if they do, they hate religiously. They've never dropped a super chat or supported the channel in any way. I'd almost guarantee you there's not one person in this 10, maybe one, that is like a pretty big supporter of the channel, even if it wasn't a super chat.
You're right.
But like, dropping positivity, getting a membership, and even if it was gifted to them, dropping membership questions and calling in and being any sort of positive source. I'd almost say that all 10 of these are just negative nuisances in the live chat, if I had to get.
No, you're right. A good chunk of the names that I saw, like saying he's gonna suck or he's a bust or doubting him, are people I don't recognize from being in the chat normally. So they might watch, but they're not in the chat, taking part.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is probably one of the best points. Reebok says it's too bad the 5% of these anti-Genty people aren't credible enough to influence the true dip in ADP. And that's what I'm kind of saying is, like, yeah, there's probably not going to be what we think, but maybe there's somebody that drafted Genty that is going to absorb a lot. I don't know. Maybe they'll absorb in the next 24 to 48 hours and they'll be vulnerable. I don't think so. Anybody that had the desire to draft Genty loves him. And and I'm not wrong, but let's say I'm wrong and Genty struggles a little bit more than I think this year, which it's not going to happen. But if he did, the people that drafted Genty will be biasly ignoring, even if for right or wrong, they'll biasly ignore tonight. Mm-hmm. Because they invested in him. They have, just like everybody that didn't get him is pissed off. The 5% don't own him, so they're like, he's gonna suck, because they don't have a share. This 5% does not have a share. They don't. That guy Terry acting like he had shares of him. He doesn't have shares of him. You got to believe a word he said after he called in and said, yeah, we don't know who the starter quarterback is. What are you talking about? No, really, no, we don't know. We don't know. He's arguing to the end of the earth, and then he calls back the second time because I was kidding about that part. You think I'm going to believe a word that comes out of your mouth at this point? I own Genty and like whatever. You don't. I don't believe anything you say. You lose all your credibility when you troll. And I'm not saying he's trolling. I think he was serious. But when you troll, or you pretend you trolled to get out of something you said, you're done. I'm not gonna even entertain you on the phone line anymore again, because no one needs to listen to your nonsense.
Yeah, and the people that drafted him, like you
Barry,
said,
I'll make it easy.
Love him.
Go ahead. Sorry, Travis.
Couldn't help himself.
Yeah, I mean,
so the people that drafted him love him, and I did see quite a few people trading the 1.1 this year. So those would have been people that probably weren't sure about him, that didn't like him.
Yeah.
So the people that like him traded into that spot too. You told people to do all offseason.
This super chat here from Alan. Alan, sorry about the wait. Hey, Smitty. Around which range of players would you rank Scatman if he starts? He's not going to start, but when he starts, hard to say. Would you trade Scatman for Jameson Williams? Absolutely, in Dynasty. The value alone, just if you were to try and reflip JMO, is like 5-10 times the value. So 100%. And not to mention, look, JMO's still very good. J-Mo was this show's biggest go trade for from week 1 on, meaning like, hey, I think this guy is going to win a league. Go get him in week 1. Hey, in week 2, go get him. What was the week that he started really kicking it into high gear? Because I feel like let me pull it up. It was a process getting people on J-Mo's train. It wasn't like it was overnight. And I remember coming in and talking about it on like a nightly basis for a while. And then he started doing what we expected him to do. He was a monster. So it was week 1. He had the 121 and a touch, right? That was week 1.
Yep.
And then he would, I think he had like 2 solid, like 1 solid game, 1 bad game. So I want to say it was like a push, like, hey, this week 1's not an anomaly. Week 2, he just had the 79 yards. Week 3 had 9 yards. And it was like week four. And then J-Mo just went on a tear. There was a little bit of a lull in the middle part of the year toward the end, but he was a monster. The only thing I've ever had a problem with J-Mo, and I say this every single time we talk about him or Ted McMillan, is that people can grab him too high. When his ADP lives in the 3rd to 4th round turn, it's too high. It's just too high. There's too many mouths to feed in that situation. That doesn't mean you hate the player. It just means you've got to think smartly. He's a 5th rounder. If J-Mo's gotten at the top of 5, you can smash with that. If Ted McMillan goes in the 5th round, or especially the 6th or 7th on an ESPN platform or something, because Ted goes a lot later, that's near win a league value at 6. And Ted McMillan was going at the 3-4 turn on Underdog. I think he still sometimes does. Where did he go? Well, in our draft, he wouldn't have gone there. Let me pull up a random draft that I've got right now on Underdog. Let's go into a mania. Let me just look at this random mania and see where Ted is going. Let's see. Because it's sometimes at the 3-4 turn. It's ridiculous. It's not that I don't like him. He's since fallen a little bit lately. Like when I see him at 5, it's like that's where it's supposed to be. That's where you got to grab Ted McMillan. Round 5 is, J-Mo. J-Mo in round 5, Ted McMillan in 6, 7, but I would consider it in 5. It seems like J-Mo's ADP is leveling out in the 5-round range. Here's one where he went in 4, and it seems recently he's not going into 3-4 turn, which is fantastic. So here's one where he went right at that 4th round pick, 4.8, which is not the end of the world. It's still not where I would draft him. My team on this one is the Gibbs team. So Gibbs, Bucky, Rice, Hunter, Hendy, Burrow, Mahomes, Kelsey, Trey Harris, Tootin, Bigsby. I love that team. That's a best ball mania. It's really good. A little bit light at receiver, but pretty strong. I may have started this one before the suspension. This is taking forever. I have a draft on here that I want to say is one of the early. I want to say, you remember those Goldens? This one is one of those. I think this is before the Rashee Rice news might have broken. I have the gold. What's it called? The Golden, I think. That thing started so long ago, and I'm still only in. Let me go find it. I'm still only in. What is it? Let me find it. Golden. It's just, this group draft's so slow. It's crazy. Where is it? How long ago was the Golden? Does anybody remember?
I don't know.
If I can even find it. We got so many drafts. The switch gets flipped, I think, a week before week 1. So make sure you guys are aware that a week before week 1, it goes from a 8-hour timer down to a 1-hour timer. Last year, I got screwed. I didn't know about that, or I forgot about it. I think I remembered later after it happened. I was like, damn it, I forgot about this. But I don't know if I have the golden. Where the hell is it? Hold on one second. I don't know. I can't find. I got so many drafts. I have like about 80 pending drafts that I'm scrolling through. All right. Anything else, Travis?
No, I don't think so. You heading out?
Yeah. What an exhausting. It's exhausting.
It is.
Dealing
I
with.
feel like it gets worse every year.
Yeah,
But,
it does.
Overreaction. And it might be because more and more people are playing fantasy, but I feel like the microscope is like smaller and smaller. Every little move and every little panic.
And ultimately, I don't care, but I'm passionate for my people. And so that does become exhausting, but it doesn't like bother me internally. It bothers me from a presenting of information, making sure my people know what to do and my reaction to show how passionate I am against the take or something. But I don't know. Part of me is like, maybe I should just laugh and not even waste time. Even, I don't know. You guys enjoy the debates and stuff like that though. So, but I mean,
yeah, it's good debate. It's good content. And there's enough of it going around. Like you said, it might be a small percentage, but that small percentage influences the chat, and it becomes a topic, and whether we like it or not, it gets caught in that echo chamber and becomes a thing. So
it's just so.
I guess at some point you have to draw the line. Like a week from now, if people are still doing this with Genty, it's like, all right, well, we can only talk about it so long. But,
yeah.
People did it with Achan too. Achan didn't dress his first game. People panicked. He had one carry his second game. People panicked and dropped him. In week 3, so it only took 3 weeks, and he had 203 yards, week 3 of his rookie year. But even that was enough for people to just drop him. It's like, if you draft these guys with faith, hold on to them for a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll talk to you later, Smitty.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Later.
Bye.
Rock out. I'm sorry, bro. Thank God I didn't hang up on you again like I have been the last. You call on or at the end of shows, and I just forget you're there when you do that. Rock out. What can I do for you?
Can I give you my worst team?
Sure.
It's pretty bad. Quarterback, Herbert, Bryce Young, Stafford. Running back, Kyler Williams, Kamara, Caleb Johnson, Tuden, Merritt, Torquez Hunter, wide receiver, Lamb, Marvin Harrison, McLaurin, Reed, Shakir, Kyle Williams, tight end, Andrew, Mason Taylor, and Schultz.
Nice. This super chat, Genty belongs in the second in redraft 2025. I just don't see enough talent around him. Sorry, Smitty. You don't have to apologize to me, Corey. Apologize to yourself. You don't know why you're apologizing to me. You're the one that thinks it and is going to draft like it moving forward. So you only have yourself to blame. I appreciate the super chat, though. I appreciate the apology. I just don't need it. Take it back and give it to yourself a month from now and tell yourself in the mirror, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I did that to you. And you only have yourself to blame. Quick, any tips for taking over an abandoned Dynasty team? I've never played Dynasty before, but I know more than I did since I've been listening to you. Tips are just have fun with it. Try and do a lot of deals that get you in a position to have multiple opportunities and stay on the waiver wire like nobody else. Make sure you're the person that gets the next Bucky, the next Achan, because that's the difference between a year or two of building. If you land Achan, Puka, or Bucky, let's say it's Tank Bigsby this year, whoever it is, and they're on waivers somehow, somebody cuts them after week 1, whatever, and you get that player, that is the difference between a year to a year and a half of you trying to climb out of that mess, just getting that extra stud. So really it's through the waiver wire, and the waiver wire shows here will help you. Smitty, that guy was dropped on his head as a baby, says Scotty Doo. I don't know what's going on, bro. Anyway. Anything else, my boy?
We make of like Brock Purdy with all his wide receivers being hurt.
I think Brock Purdy is somebody I'm avoiding anyway, but it's certainly not good for the 49ers. They're just a team that's probably going to get hit hard with injuries, and it's going to be one of those excuse seasons for everybody where they're like, man, we lost CMC, Kittle got hurt, the offensive line got hurt, Trent Williams got hurt, one of the wide receivers gets re-injured, or it's just going to be a complete injury unraveling. That's what my guess is. They got a lot of older players. CMC, Kittle, Trent Williams, those three alone. And then protecting, in some of those cases, Kittle blocks as well. If they lose two or all three of those guys, then Purdy gets injured. And it's just a disaster.
Especially Trent Williams.
Yeah, Trent Williams is out of there. Purdy turns into a pumpkin. It's happened before, and losing Debo is not going to help. That's always been kind of a hard thing for Purdy to excel without. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right,
my man. We'll see you later.
Yep.
Okay, make it make sense. Stop with whatever you're... What are you even talking about, bro? What in the hell are you even talking about? I'll let Travis deal with you and see if some of your comments are either just one-off and you've had normal conversation, or you're talking about something insane and need to be out of here. I'll let Travis decide on that one. Yes, I'm looking at your question. First of all, you're writing novels about some things are wild. I don't know what he's saying. All right. Anyway, guys, appreciate you. Thank you for the super chatters. I apologize to all of you that didn't want to have, a screaming match today about Ashton Jeanty. Some of you preferred it and loved it. Some of you loved that kind of content. I don't know. But I just don't understand the anti-Genty person. All I know is that it's just overreaction Thursday. Overreaction Thursday. 3 carries piss people off. We had a lot of positive things, though, today, from Milroe to Horton to Keaton Mitchell. For those of you that missed that show, Keaton Mitchell going to the mother moon. Milroe looked good. Keaton Mitchell looked fantastic. It's time for some revenge, so, can't wait. Appreciate you all. See you all. Don't forget I'm live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern every single Monday through Friday. I'm live whenever big news breaks, and I'm live at midnight Eastern like this show tonight, pretty much every night. Don't worry, the next day, usually once something like this happens, the next day is a lot more calm, and then the anti-Genty people vanish again. And then people that didn't catch the show end up circling in. And then you feel a lot more heavy positivity toward a player. It's just insane, man. It's good. Ultimately, it's good. It's good to have a bunch of negative, people about somebody that doesn't deserve it, because it just makes the ADP better. But as Reebok said, unfortunately, the 5% that hate Genty right now, they're not really influencing anything. It just feels like it. All right, see you all tomorrow. Appreciate you. Deuce. Hit the like button on the way out the door. Subscribe if you're new. See you all later.